So we bought this nice counter height wood table with a leaf. We're going to use a bar coat to try to give it a nice glossy finish that'll be indestructible with little kids. So you want to make sure that you get the proper amount based on the size of the table that you're getting. So we decided we're going to go with 2 of them. Make sure you get enough containers. This particular one says you need 3 per box that you're using. 1 for the hardener, 1 for the glaze, and 1 when they're mixed together. A couple of paint brushes to get around the edges and make sure you get on those areas where it's not going to self-level. You want to make sure you get all of the spots clear so you don't have any gaps. A couple of little cheap plastic putty knives to make sure you get an even spread. We make sure we tape the inside seams so that it doesn't bind together. Same with this leaf. This particular one is a scissor leaf, so it folds over itself. So this groove right in here, we decided we'd separate it, take them completely apart, that we didn't get any of this gloss finish stuck inside, because then it will not be able to bend properly. So we took that apart, taped the other edges, leaving the outside edge clear so we can get that edge coat. Make sure everything's level, and we're going to start mixing everything and show you how it looks at the end.
Woohoo.
A warm white. A warm white.
Okay.
A warm white. A warm white.
All right, and then we're just using plastic scrapers to...
Plastic putty knife to spread it up to the edges, speed up the process a little bit.
We didn't tell them how long we mixed it. So
I think different brands have different times. This particular one that we have, you mix the 2 different compounds together for 6 minutes, and then you put it into another container and stir it again for another 6, and then you immediately start pouring because you only have about a 10 to 15 minute window to start working with it before the stuff starts to harden. So once you start mixing, you got to have everything ready to go.
And is that including the time that we have to take the torch to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I better
15
take...
minutes is your window of whatever you want to do to get it fine-tuned.
I better take the torch to it then.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, this is my favorite part because it's so gratifying. You can't hardly see them, but all the little bubbles come out and it just gets made perfect. Like over there, let's see if we can see them. There we go. Now you can see it. So cool, and it's so fun. And Lawrence is just finishing up those sides, so I have to move pretty fast. He's getting the drips right now. So we'll show you guys when it's all done, and then we'll show you again once it's totally cured.
Alright, so this is about 24 hours of it sitting. So he's got a nice gloss to everything. It's pretty much ready, but it suggests you wait about 72 hours before you actually start using it. So this is, like I said, this is the 24 mark. All the pieces, we're still keeping that part off just until it's finished with the 3 days curing, then we'll reattach it, sand out any of the bumps that we find.
The sides came out really nice.
Yeah, so if you look on the back side, there's a few little drips that we'll have to sand off to make it a nice smooth connection when we reattach it. So we'll do that and then give it another 48 hours and we should be good to go.
And that wouldn't have happened if we had stayed to keep scraping it, but we had stuff to do. And we're both perfectionists and we just didn't want to drive ourselves nuts because we're not professionals,
but overall,
we are perfectionists.
With the taping we did,
it looks good.
Along all these inside
really
seams, everything is nice and smooth. There's no drips. So we pulled off the tape at the right time on all of these. So everything else looks good to go.
Sweet. Should we try putting it together just to see if it fits? Yeah. Let's do that. You want to watch?
No, I want to follow Dad.
Yeah.
Headed here
Oh, had it? So this, I was taking the scraper and scraping under here. There are a couple like round drips. They're very soft. That's probably the worst. Right here is probably the worst. And you can sand these off, or if they don't bother you, you can leave them. They're not going to show. That is how I did it. Little turkey. But yeah, it is beautiful. It's nice and thick. It's already very hard, but we don't want to introduce it to children and food and stuff until it has totally cured. So Lawrence is going to put in this leaf right now. And do you think when we fold it in the table we should use like a really thin cloth to keep it, like if it'll stick on itself when it's stored. Do you know what I mean?
I think after the 72 hours it should.
You think it'll be okay? Okay. Well,
we might just leave it open.
yeah.
With the full leaf.
Yeah.
This side.
There. I love this table. It took a little bit for Lawrence to screw in the leaf, but because this is such a high gloss, it does get nice and hard, which is what makes it so durable. But because it is so glossy, and we don't want the leaves to get damaged when they store because they fold in on themselves, we're gonna get a very, very like micro thin piece of like felt and put it on in between the leaves for when we fold them and store them in the table, just to preserve it, because
Especially the early part where it's still a little bit tacky.
well, even then though, our current table we've had with this gloss on it for 3 years, and I had put a like kind of like a flower pot on it, and the flower pot stuck to the table, and I had to like pop it off. It like fills in, like it doesn't leave a mark, but it's always like almost in a state of semi-soft, if that makes sense.
Especially if in the warmer weather, it's like it
Yeah,
starts to get a little soft.
but it's so durable and it's so beautiful. It like on camera, it does not even look as good as it does in person. It's such a rich color, and this is without us refinishing it. We did not do anything to this table other than clean it really good when we bought it, because we bought it used, and because that's how we roll around here. And then we were just like, okay, this is a beautiful table. It's a nice counter height. We're gonna DIY this. So I hope you found this video informational. And if you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comments, and Lawrence will answer them. He's the table guru now. All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.